We did put out the video finally, girl. It took forever. 27 minutes. And it's
It
like,
does.
dude, and I used the one, but guess what? I gotta fix this thumbnail because it says 2023. That's how long I've been
Oh
working.
wow.
Yeah, like I just noticed it today and I'm like, God
Look
damn
at
it. Like
that.
I cannot. Something's always wrong with this fucking video. So, yes, go check out this video. I'm so proud. I gotta link the the podcast and like Lick and Chibi and everyone's stuff in here. So hi Audrey, how are you? Be a dear and go check out my new video. But yes, that in my opinion, sorry I'm hitting this, I'm finishing this clip, but in my opinion, I figure it'd be fun to start the builds, conversation part 1 and 2 because it's gonna take a lot. I think it's gonna be a multi-part episode, and I don't think that it'll actually fit into the way we talk, especially when all of us are here. I think that that's gonna very easily become a 3-part series. So, as some time pass, I don't know if um. Oh, thank you. That's gonna be so helpful. Diminishing returns calculator. I like that. That could be good. I might just include that in the video because
I was gonna say,
anything.
yeah, if you just want to pop it down as a link
Yeah,
somewhere,
because that's what I did the first one,
it's
like the
so
flank
confusing to try
video.
and figure it out yourself.
It really is.
Because I'll wait till we start streaming
Yeah,
and
yeah,
when we
yeah.
get onto that
We're
topic
just
before I talk
chatting right
about it.
now. I'm giving people a minute to get in. I'll probably wait another, until the timer hits 15 minutes on my end for the stream. And then I'll go ahead and hit record. So it'll just be us two. Remy's in the live audience. Anyone's welcome to join the live audience. It's in the Discord. We set the stage. If you want to jump in, if you're jumping in the live stream, which since I'm not streaming Paladins, I'll try to give TikTok live a go again. Yesterday it was being weird, so I took it off. I love how now all you see is Io's face. Oh, TikTok live's like, nope, eat. Okay, can you not? I need a scene. I think I have our little podcast picture download, so I'll just use that. Under image add. I think. Also, I'm gonna show you guys my newest idea for a merch tee, and be honest, let me know what you think of it because it's super cute in my opinion. But it's not about me; it's about what y'all want. So, yes. Okay, go live. Okay, wait. Wasn't it letting me go live? Okay. I like how it says gaming paladins. That's it. Okay. So I'm done with that. Before we get into it, let me show you. I just made this when I was talking to Jamie on our little anime date because I thought this was super cute. What are we thinking about this little guy? Is this not the cutest thing? And it's
Real
Shroom Like, that is so cute. I am going to release that pretty soon on phone cases, bags, shirts. So I'll have to re-edit it because it was on a black background and I couldn't see the wording and it's overlapping some stuff, so I'll have to fix it. But yeah, let me go ahead and hit the record button. So those of you that are popping through or just coming by on TikTok. We are live on Twitch. It's in the title and it's in my bio. If you want to check that out, anyone's welcome to drop in on the conversation. This is an open conversation for everyone. Today, we are going to be talking about the part one of our builds, overall builds, but I'm calling this episode Customization, Creating Builds, and Diminishing Returns because this is part one. Now, we're going to leave Diminishing Returns because I feel like Lich really wanted to cover that part from my understanding from our last conversation when we were all talking
That's
about
fair.
this. Yeah, so I will leave
That's a whole
that.
topic in itself, if you ask
It
me. Shoot.
really is. It really is. And I would feel better if all of us were a part of that conversation because I know Super was also really into it. But if there's anything y'all want to include, just let me know. But I'm more than welcome to include it in the conversation. So, basically getting into customization, just starting off. Well, first off, welcome on. And if it's your first time, it shouldn't be your first time because this would be episode 3. Now, to be fair, I've only released officially on the YouTube channel one episode. We did already record episode 2. That I have to go play with the audio and go upload that one. So this will be episode 3. Um, and I feel like this is a topic that is not only exciting and fun, but is also very interactive because while I'm also live on Twitch, I'm live on TikTok, so I can go ahead and pull up the game and go through the cards as well. I feel like that's a lot of work though, and the topic's not so much character based. We're mainly talking about the customization that comes with making builds. So first and foremost, my name's Allie or Allie Bug, whatever floats your boat, whatever tickles your little pickle. Here on this channel, we do lots of things, and recently, as we are right now, have been doing this podcast, trying to do it weekly. I've been falling behind because we had some personal stuff last week, but overall, we have me, Lich, Justin, Chibi, usually who's here super recently joined the panel. Raze joins in when they can. Good morning. Speaking of the devil, how you doing? And also Elk chimes in when she can. So again, if you're popping in through TikTok and you guys have an opinion, I'll be flip flopping through the chats. So if there's anything that you want to include that we're not covering, feel free to put it in the chats and I will make sure to reference it. We are doing a live audience as well in the Discord, and you can find those links in my panel. So Justin, good morning. Well, good afternoon rather, but it's morning for me, bitch, because I'm hungover like fuck. How you
Same.
feeling?
I only woke up like an hour ago, so same.
Right. I need a Red Bull after this. Which, by the way, we're gonna do this podcast and I'll end stream because I ain't done getting ready. Like, I took a shower, I washed my ass, I did half of it. Like, give me credit. I'm clean. But I still gotta, I plan on drinking today too, so I gotta go get more beers and more Red Bull. As it's all Justin's fault anyway, because nobody told him to tip me last night, but he did. So blame him.
Surprise.
Blame him for the hot mess that you're gonna witness today. All right, you guys. So welcome on in. Welcome on in. Oh yes, the shower. Behave, Jamie. Behave. We are live. The children are watching. But welcome on in, you guys. We're talking about builds today. So I guess because this is such a loaded topic, this is so much. We'll kind of. I'll take a huge chunk off the giant cookie. So like builds. Um, versus going by what's good and what's bad or what's meta and what's not, because that is a part of the conversation, again, worthy of like more than 2 people. So I'm trying to go into this with it just being us two. I think we can just cover our personal ideals on the two. So I'll give my spiel, you'll give yours, and we'll just kind of shoot the shit for the two and then kind of cover the other 2 topics along with that. How do you feel about that?
That sounds good.
Hydrating, importante,
For sure.
water. So for me, I feel like compared to other games that are very similar to this game, with the content creation that's involved with builds, I feel like it's hard to create content for that. Like consistent videos. I notice a lot of the YouTubers and streamers do struggle with that, me myself included. Like making updated content on builds can be hard, only because of the constant changes that come with each new patch. So what do you feel like should we start with as far as the builds? Because this can go so many ways. As a new person coming in, what would be your initial starting point that you would want to be like, hey, so like when you're making a build, dot, dot, dot. Like, how would you start that conversation, Justin?
Hmm, that's a good question.
Right?
Um, okay, new player mindset,
Mm-hmm.
starting a build. Think back to when I first played Balance. Um, I think one of the biggest things is that you just gotta test it, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
And more than one game, because just because you made this build and you had a bad game doesn't mean the build itself is bad. It just
Right.
means maybe that game just wasn't up to par, right? Like you had
Right.
a what is it, a exterminate Furia for your solo heal, and they didn't even try to keep their charge up. Like I don't know. I know exterminate solo heal can kind of work, but anyway, bad example.
Yeah.
Um, you just have to play with your build, honestly. Try things that you think would be fun. Um, there's a lot of variation. I think some of my favorite builds, like doesn't even matter the character, are
Mm-hmm.
I almost have a zoomies build for everybody because there's some form of speed cards in almost everybody's build. Some are not so great. Some are like, wow, you're Lightning McQueen in here.
Yeah.
Um,
True.
so I think honestly, just like play it out. If a build seems fun, honestly, do it.
Yeah.
Like you can play around it though. It may be a niche play style, and you only get to play it like so often. But honestly, that's some of the most fun that I have in the game is whenever I get to play those really niche builds and they do work out.
Yeah, I agree. Cause, and y'all see it like when I'm live. A lot of times, I mean, there's been times where you'll witness we'll have a rough game, right? And I immediately, I immediately go to change something about my build. Like, it never fails. I always do because my mindset is like something happened here. And I was even saying last night, it's good as a Vivian specifically. It's good because I was playing her last night and I remember feeling, not the one where you were my healer. It was before you guys joined me and I was like solo. I had a healer who I had two healers and I was upset because one of them was a person who was my healer in a previous game that was like really bad. Like we lost that game too because they were just not good.
Oh, I
And
remember that.
yeah, I recognized the name and I lost my shit last night. I was like, bruh, I told you it was them. Well, literally, like, I have two versions of every build. And I was talking about this yesterday on live, and I'm going to bring it back up because it's viable to what we're talking about. Like, making two sets of a build for certain situations is not unheard of in this game. A lot of people do that.
Hmm.
A lot of times you'll see someone running three versions of a build with literally one card as the game changer. One could be more health, one could be more ammo, one could be movement speed, like you said. One is alt based. Everyone knows that I am a jumpy Tib. Everyone knows if I'm on Tib, I'm going jump talent only because of the rework. Before that, I was always doing Tigrons, but like ever since the rework with that, pairing a alt heavy build that gets resets on the heavy blade, so just using your alt as if it's your mobility was the best thing I could have changed in my playstyle with Tib. Because in the very beginning I didn't do that and it was hindering my game sometimes, like not having, the what's the word I'm looking for? Just too much pride to like retreat, and with someone like Tib, like that's not an excuse. And when I see people not do that, especially if they call themselves seasoned in this game, it's like, girl, even if that's not something you really do on a regular basis, doing it to save your ass and it might be the one thing you need to do to save the game or to turn the game around, those decisions are what makes these games like your wins, even if it's not, ranked, if it's just casuals. Um, So just, like Justin was saying, testing the builds, playing with cards. Like I said in my damage video, I was like, read what they do. There are some cards that sound so good on paper, and then you run it and you're like, what the fuck? Like, I forget what build I ran with Vivian that I was like, this is stupid, and I deleted it. Like, I didn't even remember what it was called or what it did. I just deleted it. I didn't even like keep running it or try to make it better. I was like, this isn't working. These are all poo poo cards. So I knew right away what cards to stay away from, which is another reason why you should test them out, because that's how you figure out, okay, what works and what doesn't, specifically to the people coming into this game that don't know any better. As frustrating as it is for me and for others playing the game, we were like, oh, how do they not know this? Like, everyone knows this. There are things that are just not, it doesn't stand out. It's not just open out there like that if you're new to this game. And I get that because when I was new, there was a lot of things that were not explained or just, you know, in black and white that made sense to me, and I had to kind of like play with things to understand that. For example, uh what items you don't need to buy on certain characters. Like, it took me playing the characters and switching up builds to be like, "Oh shit, I don't need this." Like, you know.
Mhm.
So, as far as the customization goes, I think that kind of covers it because there's not really much to it than that. I really wish they put a little more effort into that because there's also a lot of, we don't talk about it, but I guess we should because it's a podcast. Like, there's a lot of cards that are bugged. So you have to,
Oh,
like, yeah, if you're not in the community in Paladins or like talking with peeps, or you don't got to be active in the community, but in the Discord or watching the pros play, or pay attention to the social media, reading the Reddit, like, you won't know about bugs. Me personally, I'm in there, but I'm not in there. You know what I mean? I'm in there for like the promo reasons. I don't pay attention to none of that shit because I know one of y'all are gonna come back and tell me, like, oh, hey, by the way, this card's bugged, and I kind of rely on that, which is bad. I shouldn't. Like, as a content creator, I should very much be knowing. But in case, if you're a player that likes to know everything, because I am that way about certain games, but certain games I don't really care to. But if you care to for this game, like, it does, if you put the drama and all the pettiness of certain people aside, it's beneficial to be in the Discord so that you get updates about when certain things are not working correctly, or when cards are bugged, talents are bugged, things aren't working right. Those kinds of updates. So it pays to know that. Um, so, hi Evil Blade, how you doing? So, with that being said, I think that covers it. Now we could take it a step
ooh, could I
further.
say one more thing on the builds?
Yes.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
One thing that I didn't realize for the longest time is that you can also import builds even though it's literally right there on the screen.
I
If
remember
you
that.
you don't have to be a friend of the person to import their build. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
content creators, such as Alliie, for example, if they have builds that you've seen them playing on stream and stuff, you can absolutely import them.
Mm-hmm.
Just search for their battle tag username, whatever it is. Um, and that'll give you a good head start into realizing, like, okay, cool, this person uses this build and they're successful with it. I've seen how they play with it.
Mm-hmm.
Also, now I can try, like, this is what I don't know. That I think that would be a helpful tip as well for
Another
someone who's
helpful
new.
tip I just thought about when you shared the Diminishing Turns website, which I'll post it in chat right now and in Discord. But that's the Diminishing
Yeah, that's a huge
Returns.
impact on your build creating too, but we'll save that for
Yeah.
next time.
Yeah. I was going to say, if you haven't already, Paladins Guru, besides you getting salty like myself and searching people who talk shit to you and you want to like expose them for having bad stats, this is a very useful tool besides being petty. They have builds on here, you guys. You can go on here and the community actually uploads builds. There's, the default builds. There's builds uploaded from various people. I mean, you can find all kinds of stuff on here, and there's also some tier lists created on here. I mean, there's literally so much stuff on here that I always used it for one thing and didn't even realize that all this was a thing. So, in case you didn't know, like, you could always check that out as well. So you can play with builds or see what other people are running, and like kind of tagging on to what Justin was saying. That damage Furia build that I run, the Beamho Nuggets or whatever, The only reason why I run that build is because I low key hijacked that from a random ass damage trigger, some like sweaty ass high level player. I don't even know their name, but to this day, I like respect them. They're the only damage trigger that gave me a run for my money and like popped my shit, and I have not changed the build since. I run that same build all the time, and it's
There you
sneaky
go.
as fuck. Like, so what he's saying is true. It's like they don't have to be your friends. Like, it could be the enemies fucking you up, steal their
Yup.
builds. So that way, when you
I've
run
gotten
into
it a
them,
before.
yeah, do that shit. It's funny when that happens when you get to go against your nemesis or some shit and you use their build against them is funny. I'm gonna snooze the ads for this just because the podcast is not sponsored right now. Working on it, working on it. I am working on offering a sponsorship through the coffee company. Which shout out to Maury. Maury helped me get the sales up to 60. We're about to reach $100 within 30 days of my coffee company being live. So just woo woo. Personal milestone there. Super proud, super happy about that. Shout out to everybody that is supporting the coffee movement. Coffee. Get your coffee. But anyways, you guys, so we're gonna be moving on. We can touch back to customization again on the next one whenever we have everyone else with us. Um, Let me jump over here and make sure I'm not missing anything. I don't think so. Oh, okay. You did the speaker. Thank you, because I was like not sure if Ray's wanted to be a speaker or not. But I don't see anyone putting anything in TikTok. Just making sure I'm not missing anyone if they want to comment. Moving on to the methods to creating a builds, because now we're moving away from customization just by default of what's out there. Now we're talking about our own personal. So kind of like I was saying about with Vivian, uh, multiple champions, you're gonna find yourself in situations where and I talked about this in my damage video. If you go watch it, you'll hear me say this. You need to adapt. Whether you're a DPS, flank, tank, or healer, does not matter what role you're playing. Your builds can help you adapt. Sometimes your builds are the backbone to you being successful in a game. You having a build that has a little bit of sustain on it could be the difference of everyone else suffering from a street justice mave and you chilling because of maybe you get healed with something, or you're pairing that with the items you're buying. So you're buying Haven, you're buying Vet paired with, you've got the added health. Like I've gotten pissed at trying to kill a Genos before and I was like, what the fuck is with this Genos? And it turns out he's got like max health with like Vet, Haven.
And
He's
Genos.
cheeked up on a Saturday morning like it's crazy. People be walling. I have seen some things. I mean, I've seen tips. My boyfriend likes to play fucking. Yeah, you won, you dingleberry. You won last night. I just forgot to message you the thing because I was super drunk. But I DM'd you the code. Congrats, Litch. It's not too late to get your sexy ass in here. We're here and queer.
Very sincere.
I was waiting for it. I was like, Raze is gonna say it. Are we starting? We are. I was a good 15 minutes late, but we're starting. You can jump on in here. We literally saved diminishing returns topic for you. Yeah. Okay, I'll be in tennis. All right, cool. So, yeah, so let's just coming in here. Um, so what was I saying? I was talking about the different builds, adapting. Oh, my boyfriend likes to play Tank Tiv, and I get so irritated because I'm like, it's such a cheese way, but it works. Like with the heavy blade talent, that's pretty much the meta. That and fucking combat trance reset is stupid. Bread zone. If oh my god, his bread zone build. You already know how I feel about the bread zone. I just, bruh, fucking bread zone. I hate that he named it bread zone. Like. So good. Jamie
Everett.
literally Paladins is uninstalled on his computer. Like he doesn't play, but he has two great builds. And those are it. Tank Kitty, I think, or Tank Tibby. Babe, what is the Tank Tib build? What did you name that one? I think it was just called Tank Kitty. No, but yeah. What is Justin and Ray's, what are your favorite things to do as far as customization of your builds when it comes to creating a build, or if you're making a fresh one? What are some thought processes that are happening? What's going through your mind?
Um,
When I'm making a build, I tend to pair my build off with my talents. So I
Okay.
try to work around my cards. So my build cards are usually played around with how I want to use this with whichever talent I'm playing.
Mhm.
So I try to kind of, you know, make a build that focuses mainly on the talent.
True. What about you, Justin?
no, yeah, for sure. That's definitely a good point. Focusing on the talent that you want to use around it too will definitely benefit the build more,
Mhm.
or at least how you want to build it. I personally also think most builds benefit from having like one or two cards like heavily focused in the build, like they're at level
Mhm.
5 or 4,
Mhm.
Oh yeah,
and then the rest being filler
100% agree.
cards. That way, you get maximum value out of those cards so that they can be more impactful.
Yeah.
Um, Not always. Sometimes you do want a pretty good like balanced build, but for most builds that I see myself running at least, I like to maximize into like the movement speed buffs or maybe the health buffs to make me tanky or something like that.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, it's very situational for me based on like how I build it. So like sometimes, like you said, like I do maximize one
Mhm.
or two cards
Yeah.
specifically based on what talent I'm playing, and I like to have those fillers like he said. But I also tend to either divvy them out, either 4-4, and then the
Mhm.
remaining, and or I just try to no. Okay, for anybody making a build, for you new people, don't do 3-3-3-3-3.
Oh my God, please.
Please,
Don't do it.
that's all I have to say. That's all I have to say.
Hey, Queens.
Yes, hi.
Lich,
Welcome, Lance.
Lich.
Hello.
what
Hi.
up?
Oh my gosh.
How are you?
I'm good. I just finished showering and everything, and I'm good.
Oh my God,
How
I
are
showered
y'all?
too. Oh my God, we
That's
washed our
so crazy.
asses. Yay,
Yes.
queens. Can't rule the
Ass
world with a
Queen.
fucking shitty ass, you guys. So if you haven't washed your
Literally.
ass today, wash your ass. This is your public,
Yeah.
your PSA to wash your ass.
Be sure to send
Watch
send
that.
send pictures too. We need to see pictures
We
to make
need
sure that you
evidence.
cleaned it.
We need proof that ass is clean.
Pixar didn't
Yeah.
happen.
We need pictures of your
Pictures
clean
are didn't happen.
asses. I need a picture of a clean ass. It's to make sure that you cleaned it. That's the only reason why, I
I'm
promise.
totally
There's
editing that part
no
out.
underlying reason.
I'm totally editing out the show me your ass. Show me your ass. That's
Uh,
wild. All
Let's
right.
do this.
So,
Anyways,
how do you feel, Lich, about like when you're creating builds? Like, what would you tell a new person when creating a build? What are some things to think about or consider first?
I mean, first of all, like just a general main build. My go-to is always go into the practice range and see what abilities you like and gravitate towards, and build your
Mm,
build around those abilities.
true. Yeah.
Um, and then like
yeah.
yeah, and then like I don't know, just I think just experimenting, like seeing the numbers and seeing like how can this synergize with this item and this card synergize with this card and like blah blah blah, and seeing that, and then kind of like picking something to go off an ability like that. Because like when Trigger Scent came out, and that boosts your in-hand weapon damage, right? So
Mhm.
Nyx has a card that literally she has. Well, Nyx's Royal Presence, you can get a lot of eliminations with that, so that triggers Trigger Scent a lot. And then she has a
Oh.
card that increases the bonus damage of her Royal Presence, like how far away it
Right.
hits. So you
Yeah.
can deal more damage from a distance
Yeah.
with her main weapon. So you combine those two aspects with Trigger Scent, and bam, you have a build going on, you know?
Mhm. Yeah.
So, and that was, yeah, that was fun. That was a really fun time because like Trigger Scent Nyx actually does kind of slay a little bit, not gonna lie. But like you have to have the right build for it. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, so like
Yeah.
just thinking about like what one aspect do you really want to highlight and like work it around that, you know? I think it's best to work from a plant and then like sprout out around it. I guess that's a bad example, but you have your idea
That's
and you
kind of
build
how I
around
think
that
about it,
idea
though.
rather
That's
than
not a
the
bad
Exactly.
idea.
That's the
example. Yeah,
key.
that's a really good example, actually.
Out.
Yeah.
No, I think I get what he's. I understand what you're trying to
Yeah.
say. It's like it's like you're planting a seed, and then from that seed you kind of just let it grow, and it's like a build. Like you just play with the build, and as it grows, you kind of just branch out and you
Mhm.
make different
Mhm.
builds from it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's what I was
Also,
saying, having the
supers in
multiple
the
like
audience.
Oh, sorry, what?
I'll
Sorry,
pull them
supers
up.
in the audience. If you want, you can
I'll
Yes,
pull
add
them
yes,
if you'd
up.
yes.
I'll
like to.
pull
Yeah.
them.
Pull 'em in. Pull 'em in. Pull 'em in. Eat.
Oh, Discord's being stupid.
Hey, Queen.
Hi.
Oh my god, it's super.
It's our
The
Londonese representation.
audacity of this like Lich Reaper dude not telling me this was going on. Like, who does he
The
think he is?
audacity. I mean, okay, wait.
Listen.
Should I start like messaging you guys individually just in case you're not in the Discord? Because I don't mind doing that. I just don't want
Actually,
to
I
be
think
boring. Or
I think
like
just
boring, but
maybe
like
making
fun.
like a group chat, like on Discord,
Oh,
like
oh
a
yeah, that's a great
podcast group
idea.
chat on Discord. I think that would be probably a good solution.
True.
I end up muting all the Discords that I join because pings severely annoy me. And if
Yeah,
I don't mute the Discords, I leave the Discords.
I do that
So
too. It's
Yeah.
really toxic because I
Same.
shouldn't, but I do.
Yeah,
do
we have
that.
our Londonese representation here, Super MC7164.
You sound
Coming all
correction,
the
like
way
a
not just
from
claim
Londonese.
number, please.
I'm the better representation. Thank you very much.
What?
That's so silly.
So sassy. Super, we
I
need your
have been playing
opinion.
this game since 2016. I deserve.
Oh, stinky. Well, we're waiting for your response. What's your response on creating builds? Like, what is some advice for a new person that you would give them?
So see, this is a really bad
And don't
topic
say
for me
uninstall the
because
fucking game. God damn it, Super.
well, that is a valid option, but you have champions that I play. Because I always forget to import the loadouts from my old account.
Oh,
Mhm.
I
yeah.
usually end up going with default loadouts, and then I still forget to do it. So
So don't.
it's like kind of a bad option for me right
So
now.
Super's advice for making a build is don't.
Don't
Oh,
Yeah.
oh
To
shit.
be fair,
Oh.
no, to be fair, the default loadouts can work really well.
Honestly,
They're
that is
not-
another. Oh, sorry. Are you still going?
I was just gonna say they're not like 100% terrible. You can
Mhm.
have more specialized builds to work with talents better that you want them to work with,
Mhm.
but each loadout is good as like it's good for a baseline of what you can expect from the cards.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can have it more focused to suit how you play and how you want to play that character.
Yeah.
It's like I was saying in the last episode with like the
Oh, it doesn't
whole
work.
talents based on what you want to do, everything like that. It's the exact same thing with loadouts.
Mm-hmm. That's another thing too. That like a loadout can really only take you so far. Like
Yeah.
it really does come down to the skill. Like a loadout can help you like lean into something a bit, but like it's your skill and your knowledge of the character that's actually gonna make you flourish. You know, you can copy top GM Vatu's loadout, you know, all you want, and like it may help a little bit, but like
If
it's
you
only
don't know
gonna
how
do
to
so
play
much.
this,
I was about
if
to say,
you don't
but
know
if
what
you,
they're
yeah,
doing
if you
with
don't
that,
understand it, that's not
Mhm.
gonna do
you understand
anything
what's
for
going
you.
on, then it's
Mhm,
not
mhm.
gonna be very helpful towards
I
you.
will
Like
say,
you know what they do, but you don't know
yeah.
how they're doing.
When you were saying like the loadout will take you so far, it's funny because my homeboy Alex's so my homegirl, she is like my weed person slash best friend slash like homegirl. Like we do so much shit. I'm like, you have too many hats because she does nails and makeup, all kinds of shit. Well, her boyfriend
Ooh.
plays paladins, but he's not necessarily new because he played like back before I even played. But he is like on and off. Like he doesn't play consistent or anything. So
Yeah.
that one night that he came to play with us, he said he really enjoyed it for the first time in a long time, simply because like he was playing with people who knew how to play. But he was like, "Yo, I still use the Tyra build that you gave me," because he was running around here. This nigga was Tyraing with no build and no items. It's just like the default build and no items. And I was like, my guy, you can't do this to yourself. Like, let me show you the way. So I gave him. It's not even a good build either. Like, it's one of my shitty ass Mercy Stinks builds. Like, literally.
I remember that Tyra player.
Yeah. Yeah, Geo. That was Geo.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah.
They just forgot that there was an item.
Geo was like anti fucking. This is the way he's anti items. He's like, wait, I gotta buy items. I just play Tyra. I don't, because he plays on console, so he never thought to do it. And
Oh my
I've been
gosh.
told that that's a common thing. So let me ask, is that really a common thing, like with console
I
players?
forget to buy items, but from the
Also,
last 7 years I've been playing, I don't even remember how long I've been playing. I always make sure to buy items the moment I pick my talent.
So is
Yeah.
it true? Like, is it easy to forget on? Like, what does it look like? Does it look different?
It's
I mean,
really not. No, you just if you don't remember to open up your item, like your item list, you just don't fucking see it. Like there's no prompt to like buy
That's what I'm
items.
saying.
You
Yeah.
just have to remember instinctively to do it.
yeah.
And
How
you,
many
I
times
know
y'all
on
called me out for
PC,
not getting items?
I know that on PC there's an option to make it so your items show up in the bottom right. Is that another thing on console?
I think it is a thing,
that
but
is
you have to
not
like
a thing
manually
on
do it.
console.
So it's in
Like
the
to open the
settings.
menu to start buying them, you have to manually do it.
Yeah.
Also, another thing is
If
for
you,
new people, auto buying items. It's it,
Not good.
yeah.
No.
Until you,
Don't,
okay. Depending on
don't
how
even
new
try to
you
make
are,
it
though.
seem like it's
No,
good because
no.
it's not good.
But if you don't know the items you're getting, at least getting something is better than nothing. So I think
Like I guess auto buy would be
starting
good
out.
once you like buy the items you want. Like if you get one of each item that you already want, then you can just auto buy from there. But it's kind of shitty still because you kind of don't know what it's gonna auto buy for you, so you kind of have to like go and check what you get.
Yeah.
it's
If you have
not
all
worth
four, it's
it
gonna get
because you
whatever
still have to
first.
enable and disable it to get the full
Mhm.
base items.
Mm-hmm.
That's just
Yeah.
not a viable solution. Also,
No.
buy is it's not a viable anything.
Mm-hmm.
Not even for new people. The first thing you should learn is items before anything, in my
I
opinion.
agree.
Oh no,
Because
yeah, no. I
items are
learned
nothing
like
in this game.
before I started playing, before I even started building like my builds. I sat there and read all the the effects of the items. I
Yeah.
just sat there in training grounds and just
It was
read
a
all.
lot. It's a lot to take in when you're new, but it you need to
Well, I
read
mean,
it.
like before, before when we were playing, there was only like 4 of them. Now that there are like 5
No.
of each,
Yeah. You remember Siege Beyond? Like the
Oh
fucking
my gosh.
the
This
the
year, like, you didn't have
items.
enough time to read the items. You didn't have enough time
Bro,
to read them.
there was a whole paragraph. There was a whole novel, okay, novella in the book that I'm like, I can't read that. I remember when that came out. I was
I
so
feel like that's
irritated.
why people fall out of Smite so fast. Is fucking novel, and
I can tell you that's why I stopped playing Smite. I played it like 2 or 3 times and I was like, I don't feel like doing all these items. So like when Smite 2 comes around, I do want to play it, but I'm just gonna go and look up the best builds. I'm gonna look up the best build for that character and do that.
So I'm
I
excited.
sat there one day trying to read the effects on Smite's fucking things. I had to use a fucking magnifying glass.
The tiny ass words.
Yeah,
Hey, so with what Jiggly comment,
I was gonna say Jiggly had a
Jiggly
Comment.
comment, what they just said in chat, you should be able to set up and buy loadouts for auto buy to be viable. I disagree because in a game you're always going to go off how the match is going.
Mm.
You may need something like rejuve and auto buy could pick nimble. Even if you
Yeah.
could set the full
Yeah.
main one, even if you could
Yeah,
set
no,
a
that is
priority, that priority isn't going to help you if you're 3-0. You don't really need nimble because the game's 5 minutes long so far.
Yeah.
Well, you don't really need rejuve, sorry, because the game's 5 minutes long. So you can always get nimble, and that could help you more than what rejuve could in that moment.
Right.
If it's 0, the game can, even with AI, it still wouldn't be able to. Which we're getting a little bit fancy here for high res, so let's not like say anything a bit
Right.
too
A bit too much.
Like, at that point, they still can't make it a viable solution. Auto buy is kind of just useless in this game.
It really
It's
is.
something
The only
that
time
might-
the only time auto buy is useless is if you like want to just you have all 4 of your items selected and you don't care what order you upgrade them in, so you just want to like have it auto, then it's useful. Other than that,
Yeah, that's the only time I've ever.
Yeah, but you're always going to want
ever
to.
used auto buy.
Hi, Ava. We're having the podcast. You're welcome to join in if you'd like. We're talking about we've passed the customization and creating builds, but we can always jump back to that because we glazed over that. We still were waiting for y'all to jump in so we can come back to that because We still, yeah, but we glazed it. I'm in the crowd. Yes, a live audience. Woo. Would you like to be a speaker? We could drag you in. Ray's loves dragging people, but his phone was being dumb.
Yeah, my phone.
I also love
I
dragging
think
people, but not on
Lich
Twitter.
has the power to drag people as well.
You
I
were so
believe.
bad.
Hello.
Hi. How are you?
You know, I usually prefer headphones, but I can be a speaker.
Yes, I promise I won't be like
Mm.
screaming. We're not actually playing Paladin, so you're good.
Oh no.
We're
Oh, that's a
talking about it
shame.
though, so we might
I
scream.
totally wanted to play Paladins right now.
Oh my gosh. Listen,
You
it's
said
funny
it's
that
very
Jamie's
heavy.
even commenting about it is funny to me. My boyfriend does not, that's my boyfriend by the way, he does not play Paladins. Like he'll play sometimes to surprise me. He'll randomly like re-download it just to join in and surprise me. And I love when he does that. But like he'll uninstall it right after. He's just like, fuck this shit.
Badger games, I'm done.
Yeah. He'll come for like, the response because it's a surprise. It's a nice surprise. And like people that don't know it's him, he'll jump in. They're like, "Who the fuck is Cheesy Dick?" Like the fuck, that's his name. Like Cheesy Dick.
Crazy that.
That's what he. But yeah. So like, I don't know. A lot of the people that I see, especially the new people, like you. First of all, when you're new and a player is being nice enough to share some knowledge with you, stop getting a fucking attitude. Especially if they're not being rude. When we talked about this on the last one, like. I bring this up because it's funny. If you were here live, you remember this incident because it was so funny. All I did was tell the Ray, you feel free to borrow any of my Ray builds. And she didn't even cuss me out. She was in a duo with the Sati, and the Sati said, "Shut the fuck up, bitch." And I was like, "Oh shit."
It's like that.
I remember that because I pissed myself. It was so funny. I was laughing so
I sat
hard.
there and I literally started crying. I started dying because I was like, this Sati is that fucking pressed.
She was pressed because literally, and the Ray's healing was not good that game. And I had looked at her items, and first of all, she went extension, and I shit you not, she went Chronos, and I was like, Mama, you don't need Chronos. You don't. You really don't. Even after her nerfs and changes, you don't. I still have the build that I used to run with her since release called Well, it was Got Milk originally because I stole it from Apache. And then he reworked a new one and gave it to me in secret. And then he changed it again, that fucker. But it's still a good build. And it's just funny to me. Like, her build made no sense. And I remember, I think the last time we had this conversation, I'm pretty sure I got so salty I brought the game up and showed you her build. And we were all like, you don't need these. So it's like people really need to open up when people are just sharing with you like, hey, I noticed you have this, you don't need that, or hey, you have this, why don't you try, like there was a Grover that didn't, the main card needed to have, I think if y'all remember, because this is the same Grover that threw my game yesterday as a fucking Saris going damage and played like shit. Anyways,
Out-healed him as a ROM.
bruh, I out-healed him as a ROM. I did 60k healing. Just saying.
Oh my god.
Yes.
That's funny.
I feel like that is the main problem with Paladins. No one uses the text. Oh, everyone only uses text gen ever,
No. But it's not
I
explained.
mean, to be fair,
as far as I know.
yeah, to be fair, one, it's not explained. Second of all, voice chat only works when you're queued up or in ranked. And lastly, when you do use voice chat, the game audio balancing is so shit that you can't hear them no matter what you do. So,
Yeah, they sound like
unless you
potato.
like crank every other volume down to like
Like,
2, you can't hear anyone.
I played back when people were on comps. Like people used to play. They used to use comps a lot back in the day. When
Yeah.
it was like 4 or 5 years ago. People used to be on comps on the fucking comps all the time. Over the time that we played, people have asked high res to fix the in-game comp system,
Mhm.
and they just kind of just brushed it off.
Mhm.
They just gave zero fucks. That's why nobody uses comps anymore. It's because high res just refuses to fix that shit, so nobody wants to just talk in
And
game.
also, like, let's be very realistic about the game we're talking about here. Let's be 100% realistic with ourselves for just 2 seconds. There's a very obvious reason why they don't care to fix it because even if they
Mhm.
do fix it, like there's just toxic people out there. You've seen it. Like people go on there, they say racist shit. Like it's in every game. So it's like they don't care. Like that, I can see why that's not the number one thing. Because it's like, fuck it. They're gonna be little shitheads even if we fix it. Like
Yeah.
I see that. I get that. But I mean, they're toxic in the chat too. I mean, I've been toxic in the fucking chat too. So
I'm
it's
like,
like,
regardless of where it is, they're still gonna be toxic. Like, if they're not gonna say it vocally, they're just gonna type it out.
and I only bring that up because if that is a fucking reason why they're not, then that's stupid. That's not like that's not even a reason at all to not improve the quality of something that's in the game
Well,
already.
I just honestly think they just don't want to do it because they just don't want to at this point. Like,
Mm.
people have brought it up, but just, at this point, like you said, like, I feel like that's maybe a reason why the devs don't want to do it, because they already know how fucking people are in the community, or
Mm.
they see, how certain people are in the community. So they just, they say they're gonna do it, but they just brush it off or just forget about it, or people just don't bring it up anymore to a point where they don't have to care about it. Because after like a year or two, like nobody even cared. Like everybody stopped talking about the thing, and
Yeah.
they went right back to just complaining about the game. Aside from fucking, just base game shit. Not
Yeah.
even like,
Well,
functional
and
other
you know
bullshit.
what's crazy? Like as crazy as it sounds, I have ran into even off stream when I'm playing just on my alt. There's a lot of new players that are shy to ask for help. Like they'll wait till after the game and like almost everybody left. Maybe there's like they know that there's like maybe 2 or 3 people and they're like so, and they'll ask whatever question. Because I found that I like wholesome moments like that where I can help somebody or they're helping me, vice versa, whatever. And I feel like there's not a lot of like space. No one holds space to do that anymore. Like when they do ask a question, they get shot the fuck down or like you're stupid. Like how do you not know that? And it's just like they're just asking a question. Like it shouldn't be met with toxicity right out the rip. Like especially if they want to know. Like that's the rare occasion when they want to know and they're genuinely asking. So I mean,
That's the issue with everyone using text these days. Is there's no, you don't know what the other person is intending.
hmm,
You can't always know with just text alone. So now
yeah,
everyone is expecting it to be negative, so
yeah,
they can make it negative even if it was positive.
yeah. That happens a lot. Yeah, I mean everyone's had a text
You're
that they've misunderstood. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that is one thing about text, is that you can't feel or understand the tone that they're coming from, because you're reading it from however point you want us to view it as.
How many times have I made friends with people who I was initially enemies with in game and turned out they were nice? I met the Serendipities. They're like the
I was
coolest
just
couple
about to
ever.
name
Yeah.
Serendipity.
Oh my god,
I
love
love that.
them.
Yeah, they're the nicest couple ever. I haven't seen them in a minute, but they're so nice. And I remember thinking that they didn't like me. And it turns out they love me. I love them. They're awesome. Like I met all kinds of people that because just because they play well and they can shit on you in a game doesn't mean that they don't like it. Like that's very a lot of that happens, and it's cool to see people like the community when you go into the different streams. People know each other, they meet each other, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I went against you. Like I thought you didn't like me," and it's like,
It's like
"What?"
that game with that. It's like that game with Leon, where we
Oh
called her
my
out, and they're
god.
like, "Yeah,
Yeah. Oh
yeah."
my god. And we became friends. She sent me a friend request and I
Uh,
added her as. I was like, Leanne, what's your beef? Or I was like, you got beef with us or something? And she was like, yeah, I did. I was sweating a little bit. And I was like, I know, I could tell, but good. Like you did well. But that was the first like nice Leanne I ever ran into in
yeah, that was
casuals. Like
the
what?
like most Leannes that we run into are pretty fucking like, oh, this
They
or
feeling
that, and I'm
themselves,
like,
yeah.
okay, simmer down. It's okay.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
shit. Like I know. What's new?
Why do you think we have Garb in our name?
I put Garbu, which is funny because in my damage video, there's clips in there from when I played as Garbaggio Bug, which is hilarious. Like the Amani clip where I fuck with the Liane. That was back when I could play well with Imani. I can't play it for shit now. I don't know. Some of them clips, I'm like, damn, that's me playing? Because there were some good picks. And I'm like, I don't think that's me. Are we watching the same person? But no, going back, we got off track there, but going back to, let's bring back diminishing returns and value and builds because we saved that for Lich since they joined us later. Also, I don't know if you know about this website, but Justin shared this with me, so I'm gonna post it again in the chat. I thought it was a good addition. So, I guess like how would you explain that to someone um, who is trying to learn how to not only put together a build but pair it with their teammates, right? The synergy that comes with, well, I'm gonna buy this because if I've got this person on my team running this build, doing this kind of pocketing, I could do like explain that to a new person because that took me about a year to fully understand all of that. It's so intricate in its own way.
With diminishing returns, yeah, how to explain that? I would say pretty much it's like it when you have one instance of whatever percent change, the next instance will be based off of that new value and not the original value.
Right.
I think that's the best way I can explain it.
Yeah.
It's pretty much it comes off of the new value from that, and it's like it's only
It's a
per
progressive
instance. So like an item
change.
is one
Yeah.
instance, a card is one instance. An additional effect is another instance. But yeah, it's based off of the most recently created value.
Would you compare it to it being a layered effect?
Definitely. So
I
I'm
sort of
pretty
yeah.
sure Andrew
each
Chicken has a
instance
pretty
has a
good video
different
on it.
percentage that it'll
Andrew
actually add
Chicken.
value.
He has a video about the subject that is quite well explained.
Oh yeah, he does have a good video to explain that. So basically, like your first instance, you get full value. So say you have, I don't know, 30% lifesteal, whatever. If you have lifesteal coming from another
I'll
point,
put that in the
that
chat so
value
y'all
only
can
gets
watch it
30%
as
of
well.
it added. And then if you have another instance added, that's 20%. And it scales down to where you're only getting 10% value eventually. So I'd say, yeah, it is kind of layered in a sense that way. Like, the more things that you're stacking onto that single number,
It's
the less value
indirectly
it
related.
has.
It's not necessarily like directly related, but that kind of thing. And like Abba was saying, when you're going into these games, whether it's ranked or casuals, like you got two Voras. Vora A and Vora B don't know shit about each other. You don't know what that Vora knows, and that Vora doesn't know what you know. So it's like that one mechanic that could be the difference between the better Vora, right? Like that. And again, that's not explained in this game. I mean, it's kind of like understood in a way. It's like a silently a global silent understood thing throughout a lot of games. Like there's always going to be a better version of the character, whether it's you or the other person that is trying your gangster. But it's like at the end of the day, if you want any hope of winning these games, like it doesn't hurt to learn this stuff.
Definitely.
Exactly.
There are like exceptions to the diminishing returns too. Reload is the only one that has like a flat cap at 60%. So I think it's kind of funny that that's a mechanic in the game, and Hyrule still tried to release a dredge card that had 100-something%.
Bruh.
Even though it's only going to cap at 60%. So you're wasting 2 value points on that card, I think it was.
Yeah.
And then Nimble and Rejuve also, I don't think they're affected by diminishing returns, or at least not as drastically.
Yeah, it's
Nimble
like a
has
different
less
percentage. Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of
I don't
like
think Mahalo
wild.
is affected at all.
And all of that I learned later on too. Like that wasn't something I learned early on. That was like in the latter years of playing. But
yeah, the little calculator that you did, basically use your kit as far as the first bonus, and then anything else that gets added outside of that, use second, third, fourth, whatever.
Right.
If it is for movement speed, just check the box on top and it'll automatically calculate the movement
Oh, that's
speed.
nice. I'm about to start fucking with this more. No, but that's what I'm saying. Like having those tools and stuff is very useful, and I want to like make it all kind of like taking all the information and bundling it up for everybody else, putting it in a nice little bow, and having it available. Because tonight's gonna be a busy editing night for me. I finally put the damage video out, so that's one. So now I can like put the second episode 2. This will be episode 3. So episode 2 will get released, and then episode 3 will also get released tomorrow. That way they'll be up to date, and then we can go back to our normal, scheduled stuff. But Ava, do you have anything you want to add as far as creating a build? Because we hadn't started off the podcast with that, and Lich and Super weren't here yet. And we've kind of touched base with them about it, but what is your advice to a newer person playing? What are your thought processes when creating a new build? Like you're starting from fresh canvas.
I'd say understand how the character is played, and take read the tooltips of your abilities.
Yeah, understand the kid for real.
It's not. You don't have to fully understand it. Obviously, the best results are when you do. But if you open to a character, you get to see a description of what every ability does.
Mm.
I would suggest making a build that applies well to what the description says, and then slowly editing it as you go,
Hmm.
by what you feel that you lack, that you could do better with in a real game.
I like that. I like that perspective because that's pretty much what I'd be thinking about, especially like I mentioned earlier, when you have those rough games. Like I have multiple versions of the same build. Just we've had it. We've had discussions while we're all making builds quiet after a game we just lost. All three of us will be in the party making a new build. Like, yeah, yeah, let me see that person again, like that. It's fun, and I think that's like the one aspect about paladins that Loki brings people together. Because I've had some long, extensive conversations with randoms about builds, just because of the excitement that comes with wanting to amplify a new change, like when they changed Willow, all the Willow mains from the woodwork were coming out of nowhere. Like I still see it and I love it and I get excited. Guys, I'm so happy that I see mad good Willows. Like for the longest, Willow was the bottom of the barrel and people played her so bad. They still do play her bad. I still see bad ones, but I am seeing so many good ones and it's just fun. It's fun for me to be nosy and look at everyone's build. Everyone's playing her differently and making it work because of the change. I love it. It's exciting.
Hmm.
Also, one
Um,
last thing I
yeah,
would like to add
yes.
is focus the value of your build based around your talent that you prefer to play.
Mhm.
Say, for example, you play Fernando and you like to play Scorch. Base your value around your Fireball.
Yeah, that's what Ray's mentioned earlier. He
Ah,
likes to like what did he say? He likes to implement the talents. He didn't say about the abilities, but he was like the talents are like the main judge of what he's gonna do with the build. And then on top of that, he was like telling the randoms like, stop buying 333 because seriously, like you creating a build straight across threes, people are they're gonna look at that and be like, okay, you didn't read shit. You were just like, this looks cool. I like the art on that one. That one's cool. I always see lands with that one. I want
the
that
the only
one.
the only time I do 333 is when I'm making a max cards build.
but Paladins is definitely a
True.
game where a master of one is better than a jack of all trades.
Hmm.
True.
Oh, absolutely. Like that's what I've realized when you go against like those Androxuses with perfect mains and the aim and the Vatus, who like just
Mm.
completely are unseen yet destroying everyone. It's like it's not necessarily that they're just like a god tier gamer. It's that they're more likely closer to a one trick, and I use that in a positive sense here because like they just play that character because they really like that character, so they're really good with that character. Like if you play any character for like 30 matches straight, you're gonna be really good at them, and that's why I suck because I get bored.
I honestly love that you said that because that opens up another conversation for us to do another time. Like, something that I wasn't open to in the beginning. I wasn't open to playing everybody in the beginning. If everyone remembers, like that's why my IO tip was even as high as they are because I only played those two. But like, I started opening myself up to playing everybody, and like I had this little random goal that like I started a couple months back where I wanted to get all my champions past 50. So that's why you see me playing everyone so extensively to 50 and then some because it gives me a
Hmm.
chance to really learn them. Like not only
Hmm.
learn the
Hmm.
character, but like in its realest sense. Like not just in Siege, but like in TDM and Onslaught. Like how does it react when I want to move fast with this character, or when I want to be alt heavy, or when I want to play like this. Like again,
Hmm.
going back to adapting your play style based on the situation. So I think that's
Hmm.
the excitement. It brings back the excitement in playing. But I think that's it.
Definitely adds to like the replay value of the game,
Hmm.
being able to customize and
Yeah, that's one of the one things I love about this game. It's probably the only thing. All right.
Irez, if you're listening, fix your game.
Oh shit. Race comes back and has the most God sent sentence. Like,
Why is my
By the
shit
way,
broken? I want to play with my friendos.
yeah, the deserter. Oh my god, we're gonna do a whole episode on deserters too. Like, I can't wait for that because that's gonna be so much fun.
I have words to say during that.
We got words. Well, does anyone else have anything else to add before we wrap things up? Because this is only part one. Part two of the builds conversation will cover more of the more fun topics. So, popular, unpopular builds, meme builds, that whole thing, which will be fun. For that one, we'll have some homework. If you remember, because I'm going to do it, obviously, I'm streaming today later on, so I'll do it. But I want you guys, if you can remember, to screenshot some of your favorite meme builds and explain why they're your favorite and what situations you'll use them. And we're going to use that as our conversation. We'll kind of like go over it on stream and stuff. So that'll be really fun.
All right.
Does anyone else want to add anything else before we wrap things up?
I'm pretty set and dandy. I feel good.
That was like a nice and
Yeah.
short, I think a short and, well, short and sweet. Like literally we're at 55 minutes, but still our other one,
The only
that,
thing I have to say is I don't appreciate the homework assignment, but other than that,
you get homework from me. Bow bow. To be fair, our episode 2 was the community poll where we talked about game sense, and I shit you not, that episode alone is gonna be hard for me to edit because it's an hour and a half of us all talking. But it was fun. I like that one. That was a good one.
we went in on that
yeah,
one.
that was a really fun one.
Yeah. Alrighty, you guys.
Yeah.
Well, thanks again for being here. I really enjoyed your company.